Russo Italiano sponsors Boxing Bros UK.
I am here's the boss, Chris. This is my co-host, Andrew, the Boxing Brain. And today we're talking about light heavyweight division. Joshua BUATSI versus Callum Smith, the Scouser. So there's a Scouse in the house versus
Scouse in the house.
There's a Southeast London boy lurking outside a council estate. No, I'm joking. we got South London, Southeast London versus Northwest England, Liverpool versus London, Battle of Britain, good light heavyweight. These are the guys who are not good enough to beat Beterbiev and Bivol, but they're too good for British and European level. They're stuck in limbo because they can't beat the big dogs, but they're too good for the others. So they should all fight each other, which is what they're doing, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so my initial thoughts on this are, Callum Smith moving up to light heavyweight, 34 now. He's obviously, he lost to Canelo and Beterbiev, didn't he? Which is obviously no shame. I think for me, this one is a lot about momentum. This is where my head's at with this and my guts with this. Callum Smith's 34 now. He had a tick over against a guy called Galvan, 8 rounds. I think that was last year sometime. Momentum's all with BUATSI. BUATSI sort of showed us something, Chris, didn't he, against Willie Hutchinson? Yeah, good performance. I think he's got the bit between his teeth a little bit more. I think, a few years ago, this would have been a much tougher one for me to call. I think there's going to be a lot of respect in there. Callum Smith hits hard. I think I just wonder what is left there for Callum Smith. I don't know if there's a great deal left. What's his motivation, his aspirations? I don't know. Only he knows that. We didn't get a chance to interview because he fucked off so early.
Yeah.
So
no, he did that smooth one that they all do to us. Yeah, 100% later on, yeah, and then we do a back move.
Because I mean, they would have been my questions, Chris. Where I to sort of, kind of, flesh this out is that they would have been a couple of my questions, and what's the drive, what's the ambition, I mean, he probably would have said, trying to go for a world title again and all the rest of it. Maybe wait until Beterbiev Bivol retire and then have a go then. But the momentum's all with BUATSI for me, and I just see this as I don't know that BUATSI stops him. I think this could be another close one, but I think this will be a unanimous decision for BUATSI, Chris. Yeah. I feel quite strongly about that as well, actually.
Well, gonna have to agree again. I'm going to say it's just Callum Smith's a great fighter, but like you say, momentum, activity is key. Joshua BUATSI has been active. He's been in competitive fights. Like, you can all say, oh yeah, well, I don't know, Aziz, whoever he beat. The only competitive one was Hutchinson. The ones before he fought them, they were competitive fights. Craig Richards, they were competitive fights, and he was a favourite to win, but they weren't knockover jobs. And he's kept himself active, and he's kept himself in half decent fights. He hasn't just fought like what Anthony Yard does, where he just fights absolute puddings until he steps up. He's not done that. He's fought okay not the best, but not the worst, like mediocre opposition, British European level, and he's kept himself active, steel sharp and steel, kept himself active, kept himself ready, and I just think he's going to be too fresh, match fit. And Callum Smith, who did he fight? An 8-rounder against some journeyman, and he wasn't even on TV. The fight wasn't even on TV. It was that shit. Like, the opponent, like, it was just, he just wanted to get out there. So
And his fight before that, Chris, was Beterbiev. His fight before that was Beterbiev. So he's now coming in. He's coming in, and fair play to him. It's international or interim? I think it's the international belt, isn't it? That Buatsi's defending, or something like that. And he's now coming in at 34. And I'm not questioning his conditioning, strength and conditioning, fitness, not saying any of that. But he's then had an 8-rounder and then coming in against an informed Joshua Buatsi. I just don't see anything other than a Buatsi whitewash unanimous decision for me, just based off of activity.
Yeah, and like there's certain fighters who can come off a long layoff and this can only fight once a year, and you back them 100%, or they can be out for 18 months. Yeah, Callum Smith is a great fighter, former world champion, really good, but he's not naturally gifted. He's like someone who has to work hard and keep himself ready. Say, like your people like Mayweather, your people like Tyson Fury, your people like Usyk, Beterbiev, Crawford. These guys cannot fight for 18 months, get back in the ring, put on a stellar performance every time. Yeah, because they're special. They're next level people. Then you other people who are a little bit lower, people like Callum Smith, BUATSI, even AJ, them guys, they have to stay in the gym, stay fit, stay ready all year round. They have to, and they have to like be active, fighting regularly to get the best out of them. They haven't got the natural ability where they can just, after a year, come out of retirement and win, or not fought for so long and it looks like they've been fucking active the whole time, you know, because some fighters can do that, but Callum Smith ain't one of them. And I just think for that reason, he's not been busy enough, not active enough. In his mind, he thinks he doesn't want to go out on a loss, but I don't think his body can do what his mind wants him to do as well, because he's not stayed active and he's getting old, and it's just one of them.
Yeah. Do you think, Chris, I'm going to pose an idea to you, but no, I like what you said there, because you get this with some sports. We get this with footballers a lot. And, you know, and Andy Murray's a really good example, just off the top of my head. Yeah, there's talent there. He wasn't as naturally talented as Federer, Djokovic and Nadal at the time, but through sheer grit, you know, tactics, strategy, working on his diet, everything else, he maximised his potential. And I think you get fighters like that. They eke out every bit of potential they can. And not to say that Callum Smith isn't a talented fighter. Of course he is, and he punches hard. But I get what you're saying. I just want to pose this idea to you, Chris. And perhaps I'm being unfair on Callum Smith, but do you think this is a kind of last chance saloon for Callum Smith? Big payday. If he wins, fantastic, gets another opportunity. If he loses, well, he's got a bit of money and he can retire. To me, it seems a little bit like he might be cashed out a little bit. Just, you know, just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I think absolutely. Like, basically, if he wins, it's a winnable fight for him because of his experience. He's a world champion, ex-world champion. But I just, like you say, I just think this is a cash out for him, because nice big payday, Saudi card. If he loses, he can retire. No shame. Try. If he wins, he can sit 100%. Out for a year and a half, make excuses, and then hopefully Beterbiev and Bivol retire, and he's got a chance of being a world champion again. Because I guarantee you, if Beterbiev wins, and he beats Buatsi, I guarantee you he's not
maybe
for a rematch with Beterbiev anytime soon. Definitely not.
Yeah, so, because the winner of this, Chris, you know, you've got Benavidez and David Morrell now that are going to be big money fights. So there's that opportunity as well.
Exactly. Like Morrell, Benavidez, like you say, mate, and they're looking dangerous, especially Benavidez. Like for Callum Smith, we don't want someone like that who just keeps coming. That's what Canelo does. That's what. You're trying to move around, and he just keeps coming, and he's hitting hard. and he's not stop punching. He doesn't care if you hit him. He's just still going to stand there and take your punch and give one back. You don't like if you're a bit of a boxer mover puncher like Callum Smith. You don't want that kind of guy. That's the wrong style for you because your legs are going to get tired and they're just going to keep coming at you. We're trying to move around.
Yeah. So final thoughts. I said it earlier. I'm going for quite a comprehensive, unanimous decision for BUATSI here, and I think he moves on to a massive fight with a Benavidez or a David Morrell, or perhaps even, who knows, the winner of Bivol Beterbiev, although I think more likely Benavidez will get that shot first. But that's my prediction for this one, Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Right, so I'm gonna have a bit of a different one. I'm gonna go BUATSI, unanimous decision, but I'm gonna say he's gonna have some worrying times. I think he's going to have to dig deep and over. He's still going to win, unanimous decision, but I think he's going to have to dig deep because Callum Smith's going to have that world champion mentality where he's going to try and go out on his shield, I think, and give him some problems that he might have to overcome. But UD for BUATSI. There we go.
Bite down on his gum shield.
Yeah. He's going to bite down.
I see where you're going. There could be a few rounds in there where Callum Smith,
he's going to think, I'm losing, I've got to go out on my shield. And he is big and he is hard.
Got you. Well, we'll see.
That's it. So like and subscribe. Please tell us your thoughts, what you think. If you think, Callum's got too much wealth of experience, BUATSI's not ready, or whatever you think. If you disagree, agree, like and sub.